The Mercedes Formula One team had a rather disastrous start to the 2023 Formula One season because as things stand, it looks like they're not in fact even the third fastest car on the grid anymore, but it looks like they are, at least at the moment, only the fourth fastest car on the grid, and that is a bit of a slump down from last year, especially considering that 2023 was supposed to be the season when they would be able to learn from the mistakes of 2022 and actually progress forward rather than spend another year competing in the upper midfield. Yet, as things stand, it does very look like they will be in fact competing in that upper midfield unless some radical changes come. And to make things worse, star driver Lewis Hamilton has now come out and said that the team had not in fact listened to what it is that he had told them when it comes to car feedback. Pretty big thing that he said, and he has also demanded that the team take accountability for getting things wrong and work on what it is that they are lacking right now. Before we delve into why it is that Mercedes are having so many problems, it is worth talking about or looking at, taking a quick look at what exactly it is that Hamilton had said. His comments came in the aftermath of the season opening Bahrain Grand Prix, and this is one of the more telling things he said. He said, last year, there were things I told them about the issues regarding the car. I know what a car needs and doesn't need. Now, obviously, last year, Hamilton had in fact complained multiple times about how it is the car was functioning, not just privately, but in public as well. But it doesn't look like, at least for now, a lot of those complaints have been addressed because he's still talking about them a season later. Then, to make things worse, he did make it very clear that he did in fact give plenty of suggestions which weren't taken into account. It's about owning up and saying, yeah, you know what, we didn't listen to you. It's not where it needs to be, and we've got to work. The first part of that is very key, where he's saying, or he's demanding accountability from the team because he foresaw a lot of these problems coming, and that's exactly what happened. Now, why exactly is it that Mercedes are still stuck in this rut, which they have been in for the last season? It all really boils down to the concept of car that they have chosen to actually stick with. Now, obviously, in 2022, Mercedes surprised a lot of people by coming up with a design that was in essence a zero side pod design. If you look at other teams, they have rather more pronounced sides, and that normally helps to generate airflow directly to the rear brakes to help not just in cooling but also to increase the airflow to the back of the car, where it meets the airflow that is coming from the under tunnels, or rather the floor effects of the car. So it is worth noting that it is a very key aspect, a key design aspect, even if it might not seem like it on the surface. Whereas last year when Mercedes had in fact unveiled that, most people thought maybe it was something that no one else had thought of, but now it appears very likely why it is that no one thought of it, because it's a car concept that in theory doesn't seem like it could work for the long run. This year around, that is why most teams have actually copied the Red Bull design, yet and it is worth noting that Mercedes and Ferrari were really the two teams who didn't look to copy Red Bull. And to make things worse, Mercedes are very much alone in the kind of car concept that they have right now. The Williams team had actually tried it out last year. They chose to move away from it. The Haas team, who are currently an F1 midfield team, had also said that they came up with an early version which was similar to Mercedes but ditched it because they didn't think they could make it work. Those are, if anything, real bad warning signs that maybe, just maybe, things need to change, and they need to change real soon, because this car concept, car design, whatever you want to call it, is not helping the team at all. Luckily for them, it does seem like reinforcements could be coming the way. Mercedes team principal Toto Wolff had hinted that this would not be the car that you'd be looking at once upgrades came in early in the season, and now there have been double down talks of the fact that the upgrades will be coming sooner rather than later. In fact, we could see them at either the San Marino Grand Prix, which is the 4th round, or the Miami Grand Prix, which is the round preceding, or which is the round after that, depending on how quickly it is that Mercedes can get the parts manufactured. Of course, it does sound like a manna from heaven if you're a Mercedes fan who wants the team to be competitive again, but it is worth asking whether or not this will actually be enough for the 2023 season, because it does appear that the team have lost a lot of ground coming into this particular season. Now, truth be told, there was expectation that the team could actually bounce back and start challenging Ferrari and Red Bull, because the second half of their season was a very strong one. They did manage to actually pick up the pace. They even picked up a race win. season, but right now they look to be behind the 8 ball, not just against Ferrari, Red Bull, but now even the Aston Martin team, who look to be the third fastest car on the grid as things stand. It's hardly ideal if you're Mercedes. Don't forget, prior to this, they had won 7 straight World Drivers' Championships and, of course, 8 straight World Constructors' Championships. So this is a team that is used to winning and is used to sustained long-term success. Can they continue to do that in this era? Well, they'll need those upgrades to stick, but it does also seem like maybe, just maybe, 2023 could be another year to be written off before they start afresh in 2024. That, though, is just how I feel about these things. What do you guys think? You can let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, tap that bell icon. Also follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And last but not least, don't forget to download the SportsTak app. If you're already on the channel, please don't forget to check out some more videos that we may have done. For now, though, from my side, goodbye.